Sparked by a 7 Action News investigation. We're talking about the Wayne County corruption scandal.
Now the feds have finally wrapped up their massive investigation, and they're saying no more criminal charges will be handed out. 7 investigator Heather Cattell has been on this story for years now, and she's got the latest for us. Heather.
Well, Joanne and Jeff, it was the controversial $200,000 severance deal that started it all, bringing the feds down on Wayne County. They netted 5 corruption convictions, but now their work is done. The federal criminal probe into Robert Ficano's administration is over.
This is something that I'm not surprised at. I know, and we fully cooperated.
The former Wayne County executive saying today that his record and good name have been cleared. 2 of his top aides, Azam Elder and Turkia Mullen, once considered targets of the FBI probe, also will not face charges.
They looked at every nook and cranny, and at this point, it's time to move on.
It was the $200,000 in severance that Ficano gave to Mullen back in 2011 that sparked the controversy that brought down his administration. After the 7 investigators exposed that secret deal, the FBI started investigating, and they quickly uncovered bribery and kickback schemes and other crimes. 5 people were convicted in the criminal probe, including Ficano's former IT chief and a top political operative. Also, his former CFO and 2 other key people who were once in county government now face charges in a separate investigation after a state grand jury indicted them for conspiracy, fraud, and giving false statements about the failed Wayne County jail project.
People should not have done what they've done, and they've been held accountable for it. And we had 3,500 employees that, we were responsible for. And I always said, if you did something wrong, you want to be held accountable, and they were.
Regardless of whether people were charged or not, it's a horrible legacy to have in government.
Wayne County Commissioner Ray Basham says today's announcement doesn't erase the long list of scandals and secret deals that 7 Action News exposed in Wayne County. Scandals that likely cost Ficano his job.
It means our pension fund is 42% or 43% funded. It means we have a huge deficit in Wayne County, and the taxpayers are saying enough.
Why did Ms. Mullen not have a contract, and why did you say that she did?
I told you, mistakes were made. She's paid back the money. And so she's, they've rectified the situation.
These are very basic questions about dates and when things were written. I don't understand why you can't answer them.
They remedied. There's a review going on.
And even now, years after that severance deal, Ficano has a tough time fully answering some questions.
Do you regret giving Turkia Mullen that severance?
You know what? At that point, there was a good faith belief that it was in the contract, the same as her predecessor. As soon as we found out it was different circumstances, at that point, she gave it back within, I think, 10 days of this, finding out that it wasn't the same contractual language.
Ficano would not outright say whether he regrets that decision, especially the decision to create a so-called contract well after Mullen was planning to leave her job. And remember, it was only after intense public pressure that they did give that money back to the taxpayers. As for Azam Elder, the former deputy county executive came out swinging today about what he called a rush to judgment, saying in a written statement, quote, "I was fully transparent during this investigation, and today's comments by U.S. Attorney McQuade thanking and commending certain officials recognizes my transparency. As a former prosecutor and advocate against public corruption, I am glad the FBI thoroughly investigated, and I'm very grateful they have gone the extra step to formally clear my name, leaving no doubt the damage inflicted on my family and my reputation throughout this ordeal has been immeasurable."
So did Mullen say anything today in a statement or anything personally?
She did very late today. She released her statement saying she's grateful she was cleared of any criminal wrongdoing, and she looks forward to moving past this as well. But remember, there are still those 3 state charges that are still making their way through the court system. So you have the 5 convictions plus 3 other in the federal system and 3 other state charges right now related to Wayne County.
So much great reporting you guys did, and while some of what you uncovered may not have risen to a criminal level, it just wasn't good government in many cases, Heather.
Most people would agree with that.
Yeah, thank you.
Lost a lot of money along the way too, didn't they?
Yeah, for sure.
Thanks,
Thank you, Heather.
Appreciate it.
New development.